Welcome to the ROI of Peace podcast. I'm so excited you're here. I'm sending you lots of hugs and lots of love. I'm so excited we get to spend this time together. When my family and I were in Hawaii a few years ago, it was the most magical trip ever. I am a beach girl. I love the beach. I'm here in Texas. I don't feel like our beaches are that good. And so I love Florida beaches. I love any kind of beach. We went to Costa Rica, went to the beach. I mean, it's just a magical, wonderful place. So in Hawaii, we were talking as a family, like, what excursions do we want to do? And everybody settled on, we really want to go on this boat ride snorkeling trip. It was this boat ride up and down the Oahu coast. And then we'd stop for snorkeling. Now, I have this deep-seated fear of I love the ocean, but I have a deep-seated fear of deep water. Like, it can be a pool, it can be an ocean. I just need to touch the bottom or see the bottom or have a clear pathway to be able to walk out of the water, you know? So when we were on this boat ride, the captain stopped us where we were going to snorkel, and he said, everybody that wants to snorkel, go to the front of the boat. You're going to get some instructions and you'll be able to go in and snorkel. We'll have people in the water helping out and all these things. And so I was like, if I'm going to snorkel anywhere, this is the place to snorkel. I'm going to have deep regrets. My future self will be like, why didn't you do that or try it, you know? And so I thought, okay, let's try this. Let's go. Let's at least go to the front of the boat, get the instructions. So when we went to the front of the boat, they said everybody has to have a life vest on. Now you can pump up your life vest or you can have just no air in the life vest, depending on what you want to do. But you have to have a life vest on. So I was like, I will pump this life vest full with air. I will be floating. So my husband's like, Scott's like, hey, everybody's going to go snorkeling. I know I want you to have this experience. Do you want me to stay and help, And I'm like, I think I'm going to stay very close to the boat. So, because I don't want to be so tired that I can't swim back. I know they wouldn't just leave me there, but like, I don't want to be so exhausted that I can't get back to the boat. I let everybody, my family, I let everybody on the boat go. I was like, everybody go, because I know it's going to take me a little bit of time to get into the water because of my fear, plus the MS fatigue. You never know when that's going to rise up. And so I'm like, just everybody go. So I'm about to walk down the little ladder, into the ocean. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't, I can see clearly, but I can't, the bottom is really far away. And as I am like hesitating, the captain of the boat says, hey, would you like a floaty, like one of the pool noodles? And I'm like, send me the pool noodle. Yes. So here I have a life vest on. I have a pool noodle. And then this other woman that was kind of helping out with things, she was in the water and she's like, hey, do you want to, because she could still tell I was so nervous. She's like, hey, do you want to hang on to the life ring that's attached to the boat? She's probably thinking inside, girl, you're not going to lose it, but just, and I was like, yes, that sounds great. So here I am with a life vest, a pool noodle, and a wonderful, like, attachment to the boat. Like the ring, the ring that they throw into people, like, hey, catch this, and then they could pull them back in. I got that too. So I got into the water and I was like, okay, surely I could do this. So I get into the water. This nice woman was like, all you have to do is tip forward, put your face into the water, and let your feet rise up. And I was like, okay, surely I can do this. And so that's what I did. I tipped over, I put my face into the water, and I was like, my goodness. I saw the most beautiful fish with bright colors, and they were swimming all around me. It was stunning. I saw coral, bright purples and pinks and oranges, and just like, it was unreal. So I had my face down in the water for like a minute or two looking around, and I come back out and I'm like, that was phenomenal. I have never seen the earth like that. A piece of the earth that I've never experienced before, but I only experienced it because I had a pool noodle, a life vest, and I knew I was attached to the boat. I needed these different things to help me to have this great experience. In personal development, we need to have these beautiful experiences that support us, that accommodate who we are. I really, really cannot stand when people are like, hey, whether it's a guru or a coach or someone in the industry is like, hey, do this one thing and you'll be great. That one size fits all methodology does not work. And that's where human design comes in. Human design is it's a personality test similar to the StrengthsFinders or Enneagram, but you will love it 10 times more because it goes into 10 times more depth. It shows you how you're designed to use your energy, how you're meant to make decisions, and the gifts that you were individually born with. It's 35 to 40 parts on everybody's human design chart that shows how do you show up in this world and how do you make the thing that you want happen for you individually. So instead of forcing life, you start working with your gifts, tapping into the support and the accommodations that you need, making better decisions. This is the beauty of human design. Take a breath. You've got this. Okay, when you're looking at your human design chart, you're going to see this body graph and it's going to have all these things on it and it seems like it's confusing. But look on the other side and where there's a list of things and look at your human design type. It says type and it'll say generator, manifesting generator. It will say manifestor. That is you. And what does this even mean? So let me tell you the gifts that you were born with. You are a movement starter. You are here to initiate, to ignite, to lead in big ways. You are a huge leader. Now, when I was learning about my human design type, I was like, oh, I'm a projector. And so I was like, some of the things I was like, oh, this doesn't feel like me, or are you serious? And so I thought, well, why don't I just play around with it and see if this does feel like me? And as I played around with gifts that I hadn't been using forever or hadn't acknowledged, they actually started to develop. And that's exactly what happens when we look at a gift and we start using it and playing around with it. It starts to develop and we start to have a great, fun time. And so your mantra is, I am a movement starter. Now, because you're a movement starter, this can create ripples, right? I don't know if you guys have gone and played, like taken rocks and skipped rocks in a river or a lake or something like that. It creates this, when the rock hits the water, it creates this ripple that goes out. That's what you do. And when you're creating these ripples, sometimes you also have this thing in your mind that's saying, hey, wait a second. I'm a people pleaser. I don't think people will really like what I have to say, or I'm going to shush myself. Those are the moments I want you to stop and be like, wait a second, I need to say this. You have the gift of being able to land your messages. You have the gift of communication. Manifestors always have this gift. It's just about utilizing it, not shushing yourself, allowing the flow of what you're going to say to land to other people, not getting in your head about it. You have this strong inner knowing of where to go, what needs to happen, what needs to move, and you need to be able to let that rip, let that come out, let that shine, be okay in the spotlight. I know this can be amazing and also hard at the same time. These gifts can be just wonderful, but also a lot too. But you're not here to be managed. You need freedom. You're not here to be boxed in. You need freedom. Trust your inner vision. Trust that you're speaking the truth, and trust that you can create this movement with this powerful energy. And when you feel yourself shushing yourself, just know the right people are going to see the vision. And sometimes it takes people time to see a new vision, a new way of looking at things. Give them their space and their time to see it. But you have this momentum of this unseen way of doing things and seeing things that you get to express and get to share with others. Now, one thing as a manifestor, your energy comes in ebbs and flows. And so when it's coming in ebbs and flows, when it's coming in you can go from 0 to 100 in max time. And when it's off, you need time alone. You need time, downtime. You need a hobby. You need something, some sort of balancing out of that really high energy versus not having much energy. And so I really want you to take care of yourself. I always talk about, we talk about this self-care, and I feel like it's kind of a buzzword, but I feel like we need to accommodate different seasons. So you have a season where a day where you're like, yes, or a week where you're like on it. And then you're going to have some downtime. I want you to accommodate that downtime and to also really look at how can you accommodate yourself and, personally and professionally as well. Your strategy in order to make things happen is to communicate, is to inform. So when you feel this urge to move, to take action, to say something, trust it, but bring people along for the ride. It's almost like you're getting in a Maserati and you're turning on the engine, you're going full throttle, but you haven't given people a second to jump on board, okay? Let them jump on board by communicating. So communication is really your tool of how you make things happen. And again, the right people will come on. Ask yourself again and again, how can I communicate this forward motion? How can I communicate what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling? That's where your superpower really comes in. And that's how you make things happen, is by communication. Here's a couple reflection questions that I want you to journal out or talk it out with people. Is where am I holding myself back right now? So think about this inner shushing of yourself. Where are you doing that to yourself? Where have I quieted my voice instead of starting something? What is the next move I already know I need to make? Your human design type is so amazing. Such a beautiful, big leader. And as you recognize that and step into that power, great things are going to happen. Manifestors are amazing. They're superpowers, and you have so much power in your life. I would love to share more of how you can use this superpower to get you to the next level and get you to have more peace. So you can look in the show notes for the ways that we can work together and spend more time together. So I have the ROI of Peace app. It's crazy. It's phenomenal. A mastermind plus community, a human design reading, and always one-to-one coaching. So because when you understand your design, you stop trying to fit into someone else's path and start trusting your own. All right. We'll see you in the next episode.